set the context, first, I would like to thank you so much for spending, giving us the time to speak with us today. And so we have been researching a bit about Asian Paints and its retail distribution. And it's actually fascinating how the company has built one of the most efficient and dealer centric models in India. So basically, the purpose of this conversation was to go deeper into how dealer and retail experiences are, and how what is the satisfaction and what are the challenges that you face on a day-to-day basis, and to also gather an idea about what your view is about the company, and how they're trying to continue to strengthen these partnerships with the intermediaries as well.
So I'll start off with a give you a basic overview of how our distribution works. Okay, this is predominantly for our paints, waterproofing, enamel, that business. Okay, not the decor business, which Samarth you would have worked for.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the way it works is that there's a plant. Okay, plant is of two types. One is plant that we run, we operate, we own, sort of, and we have 8 of such plants across the country. In addition to this, we also have something called OPC. OPC is outside processing center, where certain products are manufactured, and those are roughly around 25 to 30 across the country. It's something that is called contract manufacturing. So we give the contract to manufacture to someone for an X period of time, and the contract could be renewed or could not be renewed based on certain reasons that we would have. Okay. Now, immediately after say a paint can gets manufactured at a plant, it goes directly into from our plant to somewhere called as a depot. Depot is nothing but a warehouse, and we have, I think, 140 odd depots across the country. To take certain examples, like say, Bangalore would have 5 depots, Mumbai would have, I think, four. Mumbai has 4 depots, whereas slightly smaller cities would have less number of depots. Delhi has again 4 depots, but say Indore only has 1 depot. So depending on the demand, the geographical area, the density of our retailers, we set up these depots, and every year some of the other new depots keeps coming up, because we have to service people faster, our retailers faster. Now, after the material reaches our depot, from the depot is where basically our material is stored. Now, whenever a retailer places an order, the material is picked up from the depot and goes straight to the retailer. Our model is such that we don't have a distributor in place. It is simply a plant to the warehouse or the depot. The depot is managed by someone called as a CFA, carrying and forwarding agent, who is basically responsible for A, maintenance of the depot, and two, transport of the material from the depot to the retailer. The material then goes to the retailer, and the retailer then sells it to the contractor, consumer, whoever basically came to the store to purchase the material. Now, an important point here is that this whole model was somewhat new in the industry when we did it. This happened quite some time back. I think maybe sometime after independence. I think 1950s is when they came up with this model. Uh, to eliminate the distributor. The idea was to reduce, basically have more margin, because if you have a distributor in place, then you can get margin. You'll lose certain margin there. So one was to get that margin, and the second one was that to ensure faster serviceability. So I told you about this depot, right? Now, depots are set up such that in a metro city like Mumbai, Kolkata, Bangalore, after a retailer places an order, they get the material within 4 hours. 4 hours is sort of the tat, but we service it even faster. Slightly more interior places, like Indore would again get it in 4 hours. But if you go to a town where a depot is not close by, let me take an example, say of uh, Bhopal. Bhopal is serviced via Gwalior. Nice. Bhopal is again serviced via Indore. So Bhopal gets material, say, in a day. Then if you go to Guwahati, Guwahati again gets it in a day. Shillong would get it in, say, between 1 to 2 days. If you go even further to Aizawl, it will go to, say, 3 to 4 days. But it is still faster as compared to if we would have had to do it via the distributor model. So this, in a nutshell, is how the overall structure is of how basically a distribution works. Any questions so far?
So was it always direct to retailers, or there were distributors earlier and then you shifted to this model because you thought that the margins would stoop down?
There were distributors when the business was started, but that was way back. The
Okay.
company started in 1942.
Mm.
So there we had distributors, but eventually we moved directly to a retailer network. Now, an
Okay.
important point to here note is that in certain categories of our core business, like adhesives and waterproofing, we have
Mm.
distributors. Okay. The reason being that we have been in the paints business for quite some time, so we know the network, we know who the paint retailers are. But
Mm.
when we entered adhesives, I'll give you that example, we did not, our retailers were not selling adhesives, and we
Mm.
did not know any adhesives retailers. So
Mm.
then we had to rely on distributors to put our products into the network which sells adhesive.
Mm.
And ideally, the dealer who or the retailer who sells an adhesive like a Fevikwik or a Fevicol is not someone who sells paint, because someone who sells Fevicol, Fevikwik is more geared towards carpenters and sanitary,
Mm.
whereas the paint is more geared towards painting contractors. Even waterproofing is a mix of both. It's both a distributor as well as a paint and retailer network.
Mm.
So in newer categories nowadays, we have come up with distributors. So it depends upon how well we know the business and the retailers as well.
Okay. Okay, sir. So the follow-up question would be what are some key factors that drive the dealers and retailers to remain loyal to Asian Paints despite tight margins, or since new companies have also entered the market now and they're offering better margins. So what are the key factors that keep like keep the retailers hooked to you?
Okay. So the first is of course the brand name, because imagine yourself as a retailer, and basically you would have three types of customers. One would be a contractor, second would be an end consumer like say you and I, and the third would be large scale projects that you might take up, basically your contacts or through architects, etc. Now, among these people, there is a pull for Asian paints. They would want Asian paints. So the dealer will have to keep Asian paints. They can push other products if the dealer is well known in the market, has a certain authority. They can
Mm.
push, but not beyond a certain limit.
Mm.
Okay. Like say you go to the store and you want to buy a L'Oreal shampoo. Okay. And the dealer is pushing, no, you buy Patanjali. Now mostly you would say no, I want to pay L'Oreal. They will be like, no, Patanjali is cheaper, organic, all of this. You might say no. Someone would say, yeah, okay, fine, okay, you give it to me, but that would not happen for every customer. So they will have to keep Asian paints. Okay, for that point, that is point number one. Point number two is that there is this thing called rotation. Okay, rotation basically means that uh, the dealer buys the product from the company. Okay, and there's something called credit terms. Credit terms is basically how, at what rate and by when a retailer pays to the company. Okay,
Yeah.
without giving you the exact numbers, say for instance, if you pay it in 5 days, you will get 5% discount. If you pay it in 30 days, you will get 3.5% discount. So the
Mm.
larger time you take to pay, the lesser discount you will get from the company. Okay.
Mm.
Now what happens is, uh, with Asian Paints, because of point one, which is the consumer pool, if you decided to take a longer payment term, say you decide to pay in 30 days, within that 30 days, not only would you have bought the product, but you would have sold the product a couple of times. So, in a way, you are basically doing business with Asian Paints money.
Mm.
I'll give you a numerical example to explain it. You bought a product from Asian Paints for 1,000 rupees. Okay, you got the product say today. Now from today you have 30 days to pay back 1,000 rupees. Okay, right? Now you sell the product say in 3 days. You are getting thousand, say you are getting 1,100 from the consumer. So you have gotten 1,100 already without having to pay any money. Okay. Now
Yeah.
with that, now with the dealer has already gotten 1100, he will place another order, say for again 1000 rupees.
Mm.
Okay, which will then have another 1 month of time period for him to pay. So essentially, without having any working capital on his own, he is able to rotate the money and earn income. At the end of
Mhm.
it, the 1 month he will pay 1000 rupees, but he has earned 100 rupees. He has earned 100 rupees without putting in money of his own.
Mm.
Now that only happens because there is sufficient customer pool for the said product.
Okay.
So that rotation is a major factor, which is why a lot of smaller people can enter into the business without having a lot of wealth to begin with. And they can accumulate wealth over a period of time. It is because of this rotation aspect that is there. So that is the second thing. The third
Mm.
is the support from the company. Now, while we sell you products, we also help you to liquidate your products. Okay, there are two ways in which Asian Paints helps a dealer or retailer to liquidate their products. One is through something called as project sales. So we have a project sales team. It scouts for larger projects like your buildings, malls, factory, hospital, etc., where painting is needed, and the material goes via the dealer. So the dealer knows that okay, I'm assured of this much money coming in because of Asian Paints effort.
Mm.
That is on the large projects piece. We also have something called as a painting service, Beautiful Homes Painting Service,
Yeah.
through which we at our end, our companies, and we spend money on campaigns to acquire consumers. And the service is then provided by the dealer, for which we also provide an associate to the dealer. The associate is basically a supervisor who sees the work of your home painting. So
Mm.
there again, the dealer is assured that okay, some part of my material will be liquidated by the company.
Mm.
So that is the third piece. The last piece is our connect with the contractors. So I think India has some around 10 lakh odd, 10 to 15 lakh odd painting contractors, out
Mm.
of which almost 4 to 5 lakh people are enrolled with Asian Paints. When I say enrolled, they are part of the Asian Paints loyalty program called Master Strokes,
Yeah.
through which if they buy paint, they can get points, that those points they can reimburse for other purchases. In addition to that, when you partner with Master Strokes, you get health insurance. During times of COVID, when COVID had happened and there was no work for a period of 5 to 6 months, we had given extra money to uh, the contractors, also extended their health insurance coverage. So there is a contractor pool, and the dealer at the end of the day is primarily dependent on the contractor for his business. If the contractor today starts saying that okay, I want Birla Opus, I want Birla Opus, after a point dealer will have to keep Birla Opus. There's
Mm.
no option for him anymore. So these are four reasons why, uh, at least we feel we have been able to sort of keep the retailer uh, with us.
First of all, I think one of the foremost reasons why dealers are so loyal to us is because we have been in the market for a long time now. Asian Paints was started, I think, in 1942 when there was a ban on imports and there were lack of options. So Asian Paints was started, and since then we have come leaps and bounds with a lot of effort put into marketing, with a lot of effort put into establishing the very chain that now other companies are using for themselves. Like, for example, if I have to start, uh, we started with, I think, just 4 or 5 colors, but now we are offering around 3,300 plus colors. One of the key reasons we could do that is because of something called as the dealer tinting system, the machines that are installed at the dealer counters. So using those things, we could actually optimize the inventory and be able to provide a lot of options to the customer and satisfy the dealer as well. Apart from that, we also shifted from distributor model to directly delivery to the dealer model. So that was also a step that we took. We differentiated ourselves from the FMCG companies by moving from the distributor model, because distributors used to uh, take a chunk of the margins. So in order to better our margins and service the dealer better, we moved from that. That was one pioneering thing that we did. Also, you would know about the supercomputer thing, the demand planning thing. We service the dealers quite frequently. That actually reduces the load on dealers if you go to see, because at the end of the day, if we service them frequently, we are actually reducing the requirement for space at dealer counters. we are investing heavily in marketing, so we are actually generating pull so that the same product can get a lot of rotation in the market. And overall, in terms of loyalty, we have a lot of other programs as well, loyalty programs that we are doing for the dealers, for the contractors, dealers on the primary side, that when we are selling the material to the dealers, we also provide them benefits and loyalty benefits and a lot of things. And the same way, when it comes to liquidating the material from the dealer to the contractor and the painter, that also we take care of. We provide a lot of incentives, loyalty benefits and all to contractors. So all in all, Asian Paints, I think, has taken care of the entire ecosystem of paints. It has revolutionized a lot of things. It has gotten a lot of new technology. It has invested a lot in marketing, and I think it has made paints cool to say, because at the end of the day it is paint, but you look at Asian Paints and you want to be a part of it. So a lot of innovation has gone into it, and the loyalty and trust built over last 82 years. I think that is why, even though the margins are narrow, as you say, and a lot of companies are entering the market, dealers still choose to stay with us because they know that we have a track record, we have a history of looking after the dealer, and we are not just doing it for profits, but we are doing it for the dealer and eventually to upgrade the market. Because a lot of innovations and a lot of products that we have got, we have not just uh, helped the dealer with their margins, but we have also upgraded the market in terms of the product. And we also have a lot of programs that you are saying that dealers are not getting margins, but in order to tackle those things, we are having a lot of strategies that we are employing across so that they can make a lot of margin. So all in all, yes, it is a tough time, but dealers are, I don't think the loyalty will shift that fast.
That's true. And I think with respect to marketing, Asian Paints is doing amazing. I remember seeing the Indian flag, which was they had used different tones
Different
or
colors.
different colors to make the Indian flag
Correct.
recently, and it
Correct.
was a very like good cool strategy over there. If you could
Correct.
shed a bit of light into what is like the credit or like training which is support given to the dealers or retailers, or marketing wise, if any support is provided from Asian Paints in that perspective, like
No,
a bit of
can you
detailing
go
on
again?
that.
No,
So
can you
we
go again
we
regarding?
understand that based on what you told us, that Asian Paints does provide
Hmm.
support to dealers and retailers.
Hmm.
So can you give a bit of details in, like, for example, in terms of credit or in terms of training the dealers and retailers, or like the marketing support which they provide to them?
So when you talk about credit, you're talking about credit in terms of the uh, credit, financial credit on which they do business. That is what you're talking about, right?
Yes, so
And
accounts,
training is a different part of it,
right?
if I'm understanding
Different.
correctly. Yeah.
Yes,
So
different pillars.
yeah. So right now I'll talk about my unit. I am handling Aurangabad unit right now, which is around 220 crore in the revenue. This entire Aurangabad unit, I am handling Aurangabad, Jalna, Beed, Parbhani, Ahmednagar. Okay. So this entire region is distributed into 8 territories in my case, depending on the geographical expanse, at the same time, the overall value that they are getting. So we have tried to distribute it equally so that all territories are almost on the same level of value that they provide, around, let's say, 20 crores, and geographically accessible. So now each of these territories has 8 territory sales executives which are taking care of it. Okay, each territory will have an executive, and above that there is also a senior sales executive who takes care of few of the territories specifically by himself. Okay, so now whenever a new dealer is opened, in terms of training, the TAC is the first point of contact with the dealer. TAC is in contact with the dealer right from when he has generated the lead that he wants to take a dealership, to the point of evaluating whether he is capable enough to take our dealership in terms of the financial capabilities, resource capabilities, his background, etc. The TAC is always in contact. Based on that, after that, when the decision is made that okay, dealership can be given to this particular person, after that, from the first billing, TAC is always in contact. TAC plays, I think, the pivotal role because he is the communicating thread between the company and the dealer. So giving the entire training, but what all products we provide, what are the margins on different products, what can you do in order to grow. Each dealer will have their different issues. In a month, we plan to visit a particular dealer, let's say 2 to 3 times, each TIC plans. So on each visit, the dealer will raise different issues, then the TIC will resolve those issues, get them whatever support is needed. At times, the support is from the marketing end, like you said, in terms of collaterals, in terms of any products additional that he requires. So all those things then comes to me, and with my approvals, and if we feel that it is necessary, we provide additional support by going out of our ways to help them position themselves better in the market. In terms of credit, we provide credit right from up to 45 days as well. So that is, I think, enough to make a decent earning. 45 days credit is a lot. At the same time, in order to incentivize earlier payments, we have distributed it into different sections. Like, for example, we have different payment terms. If you pay in 5 days, you get a 5% discount on the invoice value. Okay. If you pay in 10 days, then you get a 4.25% discount. Pay in 30 days, you get around a 3% discount, and pay in 45 days, you get 2% discount. So we are providing 45 days of credit, but at the same time, we have separated it into different sections so that we are incentivizing earlier payment, because if you pay early, you would get higher benefit out of it.
So one more thing, like for the new dealers that you onboard, like how does that tinting machine access works? Like how does that work? Do you give it, and like what if the machine gets like it gets um like it doesn't work? So like do you replace it? What is the mechanism? How does a
No,
tinting
we have an
machine?
entire team which looks after this entire dealer tending system machine, the software part of it, the servicing part of it. Everything is taken care of by a separate team itself. So whenever new dealer opening is to be done, obviously he would need a machine. So then that team is involved. Okay, this is dealer is going to be opened, and we want to provide a dealer tinting machine to him. So this is the cost. So entire cost structure is shared with him. Then he opts for it. He does the payment. Machine is provided to him, and timely servicing costs are debited to the dealer, and the servicing team takes care of it. In between, if any issue arises, he can always uh, get in contact with the service technician of that particular machine, or even tell that to the TSC itself. He will get him in touch with the technician whenever any issue is there. So those kind of issues are there, but very minimal because the entire team handles it very well.
So like the follow-up question would be like how do you ensure that the skill set of the DSH or the retailers in is maintained, or for example if you're onboarding new salespeople, like how do you ensure that training is properly done, and what is the format of it, how frequently it is being given or something like that? Could share.
Okay. So in the paint business, we don't have a DSH thing like you have a DSH RSH in weather sale.
Yeah.
It's not that way. And the way it works is that there is a territory sales executive who basically handles a set of dealers. Each TSC handles somewhere close to 50 to 60 odd dealers. So when they join in, there is a comprehensive 2 week program that they go through. There is a training center that is set up now in Mumbai, in Bhiwandi. They go through training there, which includes training on three major aspects. One is, of course, on the products, uh, how certain products work, what is their coverage, what are prices, etc. All of that. Second is with regards to application, how certain products have to be applied. A TSC will never have to apply a product, but they should know, because that is how they will be able to sell it to the retailers and the contractors. And the third important piece is the retailer relationship, which boils down to one, your ROI, your inventory calculations, rotations, how to basically calculate that and convince the dealer. And again, of course, interpersonal skills. How do you convince people? How do you talk to them, etc., and all of that. So that happens. I think there is a 2 week training at the start of it, and then there are regular interval like a 3 month, 6 month, till a year. We have those interventions.
And so, like, for example, say the competition is offering a better margin. So you said that the loyalty and the brand value keeps the retailers hooked to the company. But like,
Yeah.
say we talk about the painters. So painters are daily wages. They do not care much about the company. They care about the money. So like, how do the retailers convince them or keep them hooked? Or like, is it a relationship with the retailer of the painter that keeps them hooked to the brand?
See, there is of course a relationship, but uh, the way you are saying that they care about the money and they would are not loyal is not correct. In
Mhm.
fact, I would say they are far more loyal than people who are
Okay.
well off. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, they remember the effort we put in during COVID to give them money. They remember that there is medical insurance for their family.
Mm.
So there is, of course, a relationship with the retailer. There is a relationship with the company. Of course, they will be tempted by money. Which, if CEOs are tempted by money, then I don't think. I think everyone will be tempted by money. Okay,
Yeah.
but it's not that easy to break that connect just by offering more money. Is what I'm trying to say. They remember what a retailer or a company has done for them, and while they might be tempted by another company offering a little more money, but they would not necessarily go away. They would work with both companies. There is
Mm.
nothing to say that a contractor cannot work with Asian Paints and not work with others. They can work with anyone. We don't have any such binding on anyone that they, or even a retailer can keep Asian Paints, can keep Opus, can keep Dulux, can keep Berger. So there is no
Mm.
binding like that.
Yeah.
Dealers are the people whom we sell to directly, and this is the primary part of it. Secondary part is contractors and painters. These are the two elements that I can list down in the secondary side. So in order to take care of the painters, this is not something that only we do. All the paint companies, what we do is we incentivize the painters also. There are coupons that are available in selected products of us. So when you buy that particular product and after you use it, you can scan the particular coupon and you can get, let's say, a 120-liter bucket of a product which ranges from 5,000 to 6,000. We'll have a 200 rupee coupon. That 200 rupees is enough for that particular painter because उसके खाने का खर्चा जो भी है, whatever, all those things get covered in that. So in that sense, you are taking care of the painter. One thing in terms of the contractor, we also provide points on the lifting that he does. So for example, if he lifts a particular bucket, he can scan the QR code in his app, and every bucket, based on whether it is economy, premium or luxury, different level of points will be getting credited to him. If it is economy, 3 points per bucket. If it is premium, around 15 to 16 points per bucket. If it is luxury, then 50 points per bucket. And at the end of the year, what we do is there is an entire scoreboard. There are different levels: uh, silver, gold, ruby, emerald, platinum, sapphire. So based on the points that have been credited to that particular dealer, then we give them different incentives. And incentives not only range in terms of cash money, but they are spread far and wide. We also provide, let's say, health insurance, term insurance. We also provide scholarship to their children when they pass out 10th and 12th standard, which is of not that high amount, but yes, that is one of the supports that we do. Taxi coupons, a lot of other things are there. We also provide listing to them on our official website so that they can be easily spotted by our customers and visited by our customers. We give them a Findex where they can entirely pitch all the range of colors, because we have different types of Findex, one which has 900 colors, one which has 2,200, one which has 3,300. So based on the tier that you're qualified for, we will give you a different Findex so that you can be more equipped to pitch the product when you go on site. And a lot of other benefits are there. Besides this, time to time, we also have different schemes coming on based on the lifting uh, that you can benefit from as a contractor. And as a dealer also, there are multiple schemes that are running. So time to time, you can get benefits out of those schemes as well.
Thank
I
you,
think,
sir. Yeah.
yeah. So I think we got a very good understanding about why, all these intermediaries and even the end customer is so loyal when it comes to paints and when it comes to Asian paints and that. So, but we also imagine that there might be some, pain points which do arise in this whole thing. And we would like to discuss upon that a bit now.
Yes, you can ask.
So like we were just
कोई
researching about
specific
it.
pain
So
point के बारे में पूछना है? You wanted to ask in general क्या pain points है?
in general, the dealers and retailers, like
अच्छा.
when they're dealing with AP, so like what are the most common complaints that you get? And like we have researched about it, and like the depots that they make as compared to the competitors, the depots make a lot of money, but there must be some challenges or some pain points or some complaints that are always there. So like what? are those?
The complaints will always be there from the market. In terms of, let's say, in terms of product, if I'm going to talk about the product, there are product issues, technical issues that arise every now and then, and we have a different mechanism to handle all of those things. Uh, Apart from that, if I had to talk about any general dealer issues, for the longest time, Asian Paints has been the monopoly. If you go to see, we have at least 55 to 59% of market share, and at 35,000 crore. And the next is directly at 12,000 crore. So the gap is huge. So we are the monopoly in this particular business in terms of paints. If you go to see, so usually this issues never arose, but now that competition is getting aggressive, what competition does is they gave high level of discounts, not just to dealers, but to contractors as well. As such, a lot of money is coming from the competitors, uh, and that is creating an issue with the dealers because the dealer feels that वो दे पा रहा है तो तुम क्यों नहीं दे पा रहे. That is a complaint that I get in the market when I go to the market, and then there are various ways which we can counter those complaints. But this is one of the issues that we face in terms of money because if a dealer is doing predominant business with you and then somebody is offering him much more discount, then he obviously gets agitated that okay वो दे पा रहा था तुम क्यों नहीं दे पा रहे, because I am being loyal to you for such a long time. I am doing my business predominantly with you, and then some random person comes and offers me this much amount of money, but I am asking the same with from you and you cannot even increase a rupee for what you're giving. How is that possible and how can that be? So that is one of the predominant issues that we face in the market right now when competition is uh, aggressively coming, especially if I have to talk about the elephant in the room. Grasim has also entered into paints. So they have given freebies like anything. Uh, they have given free 1 liter buckets on their paint. They have given dealer tinting machines for free. They have given boards for free. They are giving additional schemes. They are giving additional schemes to contractors. So all these issues are there. So that is one of the key issues I think I face because already when margins are thinning and people are offering higher discounts, so how do you maintain margins of your dealers? That is one of the key issues I think we face.
See, common things which have been there since eternity and will be there. One is, of course, stock out. Okay. They
Okay.
want a certain product. Okay. That product is not available in the nearest depot. So it has to come from somewhere far off. And if it has to come from somewhere far off, which means we will incur a higher cost. So often we tell them that why don't you wait till the stock comes? Okay. This is
Yes.
a problem that's there since 1950. This is a problem that will be there till we exist. Okay, so this is a problem that
Yes.
we cannot solve. That is point number one. Point number two,
Yes.
a problem often comes with regards to payment terms. Okay, now
Hmm.
one way in which a competition attracts retailers is by offering a longer payment term. So, like I said,
Hmm.
30 days. Okay, Opus offers 45 days
Okay.
and dealers would like that. Okay, in the
Hmm.
paints industry before we came, the average payment time period was 90 days. Okay, in
Hmm.
adhesives also, for instance, the average payment time period is 90 days, but we offer 45 days only because we are particular about that. And this again is a problem which it could be relaxed, but it's something that we have not really focused much upon. Okay, that's the second
Yes.
thing. Okay, third, of course, the problem which often we are not able to resolve is certain product quality. Okay, like often what happens in case of transportation, a certain batch manufacturing, the product comes incorrectly. Say like putty, which comes to the retailer, is not
Hmm.
that solid on powdery. It's say liquid in certain senses. So those are genuine problems which the retailer is right
Hmm.
to raise, and that's a problem at our end. Certain issues in manufacturing, certain issues in
Hmm.
transportation. So that is there. But the what the retailers will call out most is one, of course, product quality related issues, especially for newer products. That is point number one. And point number two would be the stock out issue. Stock
Okay.
out is a problem. I
Hmm.
think I wouldn't say we cannot completely resolve it. I think maybe better demand forecasting, depot planning could be done to reduce stock out.
Okay. So, sir, how do these issues like seasonal demand peaks, if they arise, how does that affects the retailer satisfaction and also the sales flow?
It See, honestly, in case of our business, while it may appear so, there isn't that much of a seasonality. Okay.
Okay.
While one would think that usually people paint before Diwali, before a wedding, etc.
Hmm.
That is true. There is a slight peak,
Hmm.
but there
Hmm.
isn't a massive peak. Okay. Having said that,
Okay.
certain regions have certain nuances. There are certain products which see a spike in certain regions, and we are not able to provide them. So dealer is angry. In which case, dealer then gets a similar product from the competition.
Okay.
So dealer satisfaction is of course negatively impacted. And once this happens a few times, they have checked out the products of the competition, then they might slowly gravitate towards them. So this is actually an important point for us to hold on to our dealers.
Okay. Like in the similar manner, like in seasonal demands, we might have some like storage constraints also. So, how
Yeah.
do
Correct. So when we have storage constraints, we get into something called short-term agreements with warehouses where we open up newer warehouses, which
Okay.
then we close after a period of time.
Hmm. Okay.
Like I was just asking a follow-up question that what are some ways you deal with these things? Like we understand that as a new entrant in the market, they are pumping in money just to get the share of market of the contributor of the contractors and the distributors. But like, do you see that in the longer run this will go away or this will fade away, and the loyalty that Asian Print has with the distributors and contractors will stay? And how do you like tackle the questions of the distributors and retailers when they say that you're not able to offer? Like how do you do that?
Okay. So with regards to that, there are two parts of it. I think margins go down because of two things. One is because competitors have entered, which are providing uh, higher margins to dealers, let's say. So they are expecting the same out of you. And the second reason margins can go down is because the number of dealers that you have has increased to an extent where in a small geographical area, the concentration of dealers has increased so much that they are undercutting each other. So you have to face undercutting from your competition, you have to face undercutting from yourself as well. So if you have to deal with these things, there are two different ways. If you have to deal with undercutting from yourself, like for example, Asian Paints is now available in I think 1,60,000 touch points all across India, which is a huge number. If you have to do 35,000 crore business, the dealer network that Asian Paints has built is huge. And at the point which we have reached, the concentration of dealers has increased. You also, if you go to see in the city, you would spot at least 2 3 counters selling Asian Paints in the same line itself at times. So what happens is they undercut each other. So for this, what we have done is we have introduced different retailing tiers. Like for example, if you do up to 75 lakhs of business with us, you fall into one retailing tier. If you do 1.25 cr with us, then you are into a different retailing tier. Above that, we have 4 5 tiers. At each tier, we have offered differentiated products to them. Okay, so at one tier, the product that is available for you to sell will not be available for the other tier to sell. So we have maintained that product lettering. So now what happens is, if three shops in the same geographical region are there which are competing over rates, what I can do is I can offer this particular range to one particular shop. I can offer the other range to the other particular shop. So in the regular products you compete, but in this particular ranges you can maintain your margins because nobody else around is selling that particular thing. So this is one of the ways we are doing it. We are also providing something called as beautiful homes painting service, BHPS, that is also available at only select retailing tiers. So when you provide service, you can also charge margins on the labor in addition to the product. So that way we are also increasing margins for our dealers. So that is one of the things. When it comes to competing with competitors, uh, the entire paint industry you used to be a very cutthroat competition. Everybody used to undercut each other. But I think the mindset has changed. We as a company have narrowed it down there pretty much. that we will not give anything additional outside what is already being given. Uh, we will not give any additional favors to any particular dealer just because he is doing higher business with us. We will be fair to all of our dealers. So that way, yes, the bigger dealers will get disappointed at times, but what we are looking for is the health of the entire network. We are protecting the smaller dealers, which are equally important. Because if I am biased towards the one who is doing higher business with me, I'm actually reducing the trust that the person who has just joined has on me. So we are pretty clear about discount part. Apart from that, now what I can do is I can make the dealer aware of what he's losing. What product to keep in his store is his call. At the end of the day, I cannot influence it. I can only tell him about what better I'm doing than the competitors and why you should prefer me. For example, because of the fast supply chain, if in Aurangabad, I have my depot in Aurangabad, which is servicing paints across my region. So if you are a store in Aurangabad, if you put an order with me for a particular paint before 3 p.m., you would get it delivered on the same day. So what I'm actually doing is I'm reducing your inventory. You can do business on my money, basically. Okay. At the same time, the product availability is such that you don't have to worry about stockouts. The competitor at this point of time does not have that capability to service at that level to give those products. They will be having stockouts. Second thing is because of the marketing uh, push that we have given all over these years. Uh, Acha, Shavar is going okay. No issues. So because of the marketing push that we have given over the years, the pull for our products is significantly higher. So let's say I am giving you a 10% margin, a competitor is giving you a 20% margin. As a dealer, you would feel that he is giving you a higher margin. But the underlying fact is that he can rotate that product only once in a month. My product, because of the pull that I have, can rotate 5 times. So basically 10% into 550. So you are getting 5x actually, but you are just being short-sighted and you're looking at it that okay इसने मुझको ज़्यादा margin दिया, whereas if you look into the rotation part of it, you are getting higher benefit here. So a lot of these things are there and a lot of benefits that I already told you about, where I feel that we already have a better proposition than others. Warranty, for example, if somebody is coming and telling you that I'm giving you 25 years of warranty on this particular product and the company is just launched last February, uh, how do you have that data to actually validate it? As of my company, Asian Paints, I have that data. I am in the market for 82 years. So if you saw the recent Asian Paints campaign as well about warranty, it says that हमारी वारंटी की गारंटी हर दूसरा घर देता है, मतलब every second home is painted with Asian Paints. So that is our warranty, that is our guarantee. So a lot of these things are there where we are already, I feel, at an upper hand to competitors. We just have to make sure that we make the market, the dealers aware of it if they don't already know. That's all.
Okay, and sir, in geographies where must be some geographies where the business is a bit uh, lower than other geographies, right? So
Hmm.
how does the operation work there? Like, do you rely on minimum business guarantee for all the regions, or do you use a hybrid model, premium pricing to the distributors or the dealers?
No, minimum business guarantees, that is not the model that we follow. We do not guarantee you any business ki itna hoga. So we just have what all we can provide, the machines, the costing, the benefit. The benefit is already known to the customer. That is why he's coming. Because at this point of time, more than I wanting to go and find someone to do business with me, I am having surplus of leads who want to do business with me. Okay.
Okay.
So that is the case right now.
So, sir, in your experience, which aspects of Asian Paints distribution and support model do dealers and retailers both appreciate?
So one, of course, is how quickly our servicing is. Like in metro markets, we metro and tier one,
Hmm.
we deliver within 4 hours. Like you place an
Hmm.
order in the morning, and by afternoon, it's with you. Okay, so that's the first important thing that they like. Second is we have something called as a dealer portal called Mayavaz. Okay, which has complete visibility on everything from their credit, uh, how much money they have to pay, where the material is, order tracking, account statement, order placement. So even if they are not in touch with the with the territory sales executive, they are able to check and know everything via that portal, which is also there in an app format. So that's, I would say, the second thing. Apart
Okay.
from that, I don't think, apart purely on the distribution piece, there is anything else.
Okay. Um, so what are the main bottlenecks in this flow like from Asian Paints to retailers that affects the efficiency of the process?
See, okay, one is the reach. Okay, now uh, we remove metro markets and we remove tier one markets from the picture. Now, in
Hmm.
all of these other places, our retailers are fairly far off. And depending on the terrain, we do incur higher cost, higher time to reach. For instance, if you take, say, Dehradun, okay, Dehradun has a lot of our retailers, but reaching them
Hmm.
is a task and also a
Hmm.
higher expense as compared to a metro market. If we had a
Okay.
distributor, they would take over all that hassle or the headache. We would just dump it with the distributor. The distributor would handle transportation, would handle reach, etc. So that is a challenge for us. That's a bottleneck of our
Hmm.
model. That for these cases, like even Jammu Kashmir is a big market for us. There we face a
Hmm.
lot of these challenges. Okay, like if we
Okay.
had a distributor, then we would just only take the material to the distributor, and it would be his hassle subsequently. But now we have the cost, we have the hassle both. That's our
Okay.
that is, I would say, our major bottleneck in distribution.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is, so you just said that you have a lot of lead that come to you to do the business. So what will be some of the factors that over the years have been the favorite of the distributors and the retailers that compel them to come to you? Of course, the brand value is there, but in terms of product, in terms of the service of the tinting machine, like how do you maintain the standards? Is something that I want to ask.
Hmm. If you ask me personally, I think this all the factors that you mentioned are the predominant factors itself. Because in terms of staff, also, if you go to see, for example, right now I'm sitting in Aurangabad. I have
Mm,
8 people who are actually looking after sales.
mm,
2 people who are looking after secondary sales. Then another set of 8 to 10 off-roll executives who are looking after secondaries. I have a
mm,
separate team that is looking after the DTS machines. In terms of staffing, in terms of having a big team size, Asian Paints is already far ahead because a lot of people do not have this huge of a team size to take care of everyone.
mm,
A lot of times, this entire geography for other companies, only 2 people will be taking care of this entire geography. So already by having so many people, we are already providing a better service compared
mm.
to what other people can do. So the DTS aspect of it, just having a separate team for it itself provides you a better servicing compared to others. I feel. Second thing, brand value is there, and in terms of products also, because we have always tried to uplift the market. Like for example, distemper is a product that used to run. It is, if you know about distemper, it is powdered paint that we
Yeah.
use. That is a very cheap product that we use.
Mm,
And above that, there are emulsions right now that we are using, ACE emulsion, tractor emulsion. So what we did as Asian Paints is we wanted to upgrade the customer from, let's say, a distemper. So we formulated a new latex-based paint, which we call as Neo Bharat. Virat Kohli is the ambassador of it, which we are pricing at a similar price point to a distemper. So
okay.
what essentially it is doing is we are trying to upgrade the market. So over the years, a
Okay.
lot of these innovations have come from our side. A lot of innovations, acrylic paints, graphene technology, steel technology, all of these things, all of these innovations have come from our side. And we also have a huge basket of products. We are doing paints, enamels, wood finishes. We are also doing adhesives. We are also doing, right now, if you look at it, we have entered a plethora of other businesses, weather seal, like you mentioned. We are also into decor segment. So in terms
Yeah.
of being a one-stop solution, Asian Paints already has a plethora of products that you want from us, and the margins which have thinned now, but otherwise people used to make decent margins. But again, with the strategies I told you, we have already improved those margins, and we are showing those results to dealers, which is why through word of mouth, a lot of people want to get in touch with us, want to
Yeah.
get associated with us, because we are not thinking about short term, or we are not just thinking about ki, theek hai, how do I survive today. We are thinking about, we have survived for 82 years, how do we survive for another 25 years. Because I, being in Aurangabad market, I'll tell you, a lot of other companies, if the dealer is big enough, they bend like anything, they will give you whatever you ask, but we
Okay.
don't do that.
Yeah.
So recently one case already happened where a big dealer was given very heavy discounts, and
Hmm.
all the other dealers then got dissatisfied with it. They formed an association and banned the company altogether. These kind of things happen, but
Okay.
we make a conscious choice that even if our business is getting hampered, we will take care of the dealers. We will not do something which is unfair to anyone, and that may harm us in short term, but I think in long term, that is what has built trust
Hmm.
amongst the dealers about Asian Paints, that we will take decisions by taking everyone into consideration and not just for our profits.
Thanks, sir. So, like, while I was attending the orientation of the internship, something that really fascinated me was like they said that almost like 95% of the orders get shipped within a day. So, like
Yes.
that cannot be possible without incorporating technology. So, how does Asian Paints leverage technology to strengthen the relationships between the contractors and dealers? Like,
The supply chain part, I may not be exactly aware of it right now, but as far as I know, I'll try to tell you about it. For
Mhm.
example, like already we are having a lot of data with us from the past 82 years. So we already know what requirements will be coming from a particular dealer.
Yeah.
When we do planning, like for example, 14th of August, when I get a forecast from the central team that this is the forecast for your particular unit, this
Mhm.
product, this much will be required, then I have an option to change it. Key from my side, if I feel that no additional something will be required, I can change it as per that. And I plan not for just today, I plan for next month and next to next month. So already we are having a visibility of next 2 months when I'm planning for today. So that actually aids the supply chain in better planning and making all the resources available. Apart from that, I feel I had visited Sri Parambatur plant once, which is in Chennai, and everything was automated. The plant was fairly well maintained, and I don't think I have seen such a facility before. So definitely, in terms of supply chain, a lot of efforts are going on, which is why this provision is possible. I may not be able to shed that much light on that part of it, but yes, I think planning everything in advance is one of the key reasons why we can deliver everything so efficiently.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So, do you face any challenges with adoption in semi-urban and rural areas, like related to tech related, literacy related, some network issues?
See, when you say tech related, our adoption for the dealer portal is less,
Hmm.
slightly less. I wouldn't say it's that less as
Hmm.
maybe what you would have been thinking, or even I would have been thinking before I joined the company. It's not that less. I wouldn't say that there are too many challenges on this front, adoption
Hmm.
of products or our tech platforms like that. I wouldn't say so actually. I don't know,
Okay.
maybe because we've been there for a quite a long period of time, so people know us. Hence, there isn't a challenge. Could be that could be the reason.
Okay. And how is the incentive schemes for the dealers?
Yeah. So deal one is of course you basis your payment terms you get discount. Then we have monthly schemes where you buy a certain volume and a value and you get certain discounts. Each there are slabs and there are limits to the slab. And the third is we have some a loyalty program for the dealers called as the Privilege Club, which has 3 to 4 tiers among them. And as part of the Privilege Club, you get a bunch of things. You get health insurance and life insurance for your family and for yourself. You get certain trophies, certain cash rewards, and you also get a chance to travel abroad. So our trips are like really luxurious. Last year, the highest tier of dealers were taken to Masai Mara. Then the second tier
Oh.
of dealers were taken to Iceland. The third tier
Hmm.
of dealers this year were taken to Tokyo and Kyoto. And the fourth tier was taken to New Zealand. So you can
Okay.
imagine. And it's extremely luxurious, like 5 to 7 star stays. You have your whole family, you have a celebrity. Uh,
Hmm.
like in one of our trips, we had Karina Kapoor and we had Virender Sehwag.
Okay.
And of course, liquor flows like crazy. So all of that is there. So yeah,
Okay, Sam.
that is a big attraction for the dealers. But
Hmm.
not all dealers qualify for that. Out of 70,000 dealers, roughly 500 to 600 dealers qualify for that. But even if you don't qualify, you get all these other things. You get insurance, you get,
Hmm.
and you have
Yes.
smaller trips also. Like this is the privilege club, but you get regional trips also where you're taken to say Singapore, Maldives,
Hmm.
Thailand, and you have domestic trips also, like you're taken to Kashmir or taken to Kerala. Again, although the venue would change, but the luxury level would remain the same. Okay, like you could be taken to Goa where you would stay on the at the Taj Aguada. Uh,
Hmm.
okay, so things like that keep happening to basically keep the dealers hooked.
Our next question is the loyal are there any loyalty programs or incentive schemes which are truly effective in strengthening the dealer's commitment, or are there any gaps?
We have different types of schemes running for the dealers based on the different agendas that we want to drive. For example, now we wanted to focus on luxury products, so we have a scheme running on luxury products. At the same time, we have increased the points that you get on lifting of luxury products for the contractors. So what is happening is we are not just facilitating lifting by dealers, we are also facilitating lifting by contractors from the dealers. So the entire chain is running smoothly. So this is a multi-pronged approach that we do. In terms of schemes, we have different types of schemes. Like for example, at times just giving credit or cash is not enough. So we have trip schemes. So we have different slabs. If you qualify those slabs, you qualify for different trips. So right now, one trip is going to one scheme just ended. The qualifying dealers will be going to Goa right now in the next month. So we have a product called All Protect, for example. So All Protect, the brand ambassador is Virat Kohli. So we had a scheme running where the top lifters will get meet and greet chance with Virat Kohli. The same, we had a scheme for RTSCs as well. If you sell more, you will also get a chance to meet Virat Kohli. So it is about figuring out what works for what whom. This Virat Kohli thing worked very well for RTSCs. So a lot of people participated and they strive to get those numbers. Then I was talking to one of my executives. He told me that when Neo Bharat was introduced in his region, uh, it was not getting that particular response that it was requiring, that was expected. So they started a scheme where they used to give sugar packet free with paint, and that worked there because a lot of people felt that okay, this is good. Now, for example, you have to understand the consumer psyche when you devise these schemes. At the end of the day, it is all money. You have a certain budget that you need to utilize. How you utilize it, in cash, through trips, through gifts, or through any other means, that you have to plan based on what your agenda is. If I have 20% of my dealers will be actually contributing to 80% of my value, let's say. I have dealers who are doing business worth 10 crores, 12 crores with us. So a trip scheme might not work that much well with them because over the years they have already been to a lot of trips with us. Besides, if they are doing a business of 10 to 12 crores and 10% margin, they are already rich enough to go on a trip themselves. But the same way, if I formulate a trip scheme for the lower section, which are doing just 5 to 20 lakhs, that might work very well there because for them it is a matter of prestige. Okay, that we are getting to go somewhere. Okay, even a simple thing is getting to meet the area manager, getting to meet the regional manager is a matter of prestige for them. So you have to understand the consumer behavior, and accordingly we formulate a lot of things. Time to time it changes. It is not one size fits all. One month it will be different, next month it will be different, the other month it will be different. For contractors, we just had color awards in Aurangabad where we invited the top 230 contractors and gave them awards. And you should have seen the people that had come there. For them this was huge. For us, maybe that we are doing events in GIM all the time, it may not be a huge thing to be on stage, but for them it was a huge thing. So based on what is going to click, we have to devise a different set of things. At the end of the day, what matters is the budget that you're given does not get exceeded. That is all. Then you have different ways to devise a lot of things which can click with a different set of people based on your experience, based on the experience of your peers.
We have tried influencer marketing, regional based schemes, and AP has done different things for different regions, so
Mm.
that is good.
Yeah.
How do
I
digital
The other
tools
day
like
when we were actually we have a product Demproof, which is a waterproofing product primer basically. So we took out a scheme on that. The very same day, a competitor put out a scheme for dealers, lift 120 drums and get a trip to go on private jet for 2 night 3 days. So all these things keep happening. So just I wanted to just give you an idea about how it is. Okay.
adding
Yeah.
on to
What you were saying,
digital
Mike?
tools? Yes.
Hmm.
So how do digital tools like do you have something ordering app or or some CRM tool or supply chain analytics like a supply
Hmm.
chain tool which could enhance the dealer satisfaction?
Yes, we have a portal, My Awas portal, where the dealer can actually see the stock and order whatever he wants. So that actually helps him put orders. He can, on our end also, he can get a lot of KPIs for his particular store on that app as well. Apart from him, we also can get a lot of KPIs. He can get his account statements, whatever credit notes have been credited, debit notes, everything is visible there. What all products we are having right now in stock, he wants to place an order, he can place through there. If he cannot place it through that app, we have a call center helpline number where he can call and place the order. If that is also not possible, then we have our own app where we can place order for you. As an area manager, I have my for that the basic platform is Salesforce, the MyAwas app. So we are using Salesforce for that. So I get the entire dealer health card on my mobile. If I go to visit the dealer, for example, how much payment outstanding he's having, what is the sale he has done till date, what is the sale he has done till month, what is the growth, what is the advance ratio, variant ratio, all of those things I can get in my mobile when I visit the dealer so that I can carry on conversations accordingly. Apart from that, for enterprise resource planning, we use SAP, uh, where we get all kinds of reports and posting invoices, etc. Apart from that, for contractors, all the scanning and keeping track of their points, we have this Masterstrokes app, which Samarth already talked about. So yeah, different sets of platforms. We predominantly use Excel in day-to-day work, but we also have a usage of Power BI. I get central reports every day, Power BI reports of dashboards about how my entire unit is performing in different categories, different products, visual dashboards that the central team is sending me. I don't even need to prepare it myself actually because I'm getting the snapshot every day, every morning. So all these things are being utilized. Apart from that,
Uh, just wanted to add
yeah,
something here. Like, you
yeah.
are already talking about portals, app, Excel, and all the tech. So somewhere AI is also helping you. Like, I understand the forecast and supply part you are not aware, but
Mm.
in your domain, how is AI helping you?
We
Because
are
it's
starting to integrate a lot of things about AI, starting
mm-hmm,
with supply chain part. I cannot comment because definitely
yeah,
there would be something they would be
mm-hmm,
using in forecasting.
mm-hmm,
But credit limit, let's say, recently we developed a portal where AI recommendation was given for what credit limit to be set for which particular dealer based on his
okay,
past history of payment history, payment default history, you can say. So what is the credit limit that we can set for him? This is the max we can allow him. So that was the recent development that I know of.
okay.
Eventually, I think a lot of areas AI would be involved. But for now, that is the one area I know of.
Yeah,
So,
hi.
you have mentioned one challenge of stock out, which will be there for eternity. But then I wanted to understand that AI being there or any other digital tool you feel like that could be used to have better
Could be,
supply.
yeah. I think I was maybe wrong to say it will be there till eternity. The dealers would complain, but that does not mean the problem would remain. For instance, I'm sure the supply chain team would be using AI and other forecasting tools. I am not that privy to that aspect, but I'm sure they would be using certain things to reduce the stock out.
Okay. Also, sir, any software or CRM which Asian Paints is using for better efficiency and accurately we are providing dealers what they need?
So the entire dealer business is on SAP. It's not a CRM, it's a ERP.
Okay.
Okay. CRM is more used for consumer facing businesses like Samarth would have seen the CRM at Weather Seal. Then we have some, I'm part of the kitchen business, so we have something there. Kitchen and other decor, we have Salesforce there. But CRM is more for end consumers and dealing with consumers. For retailers, it's an ERP tool, which is SAP in our case.
Okay. Also, sir, one of the question regarding peak season we were discussing. So I wanted to understand that during peak seasons, the dealers are in support with us or in competition when it comes to other brands. Because when the season arrives, there are Berger and other companies who will also be, for them also it will be a peak season. So at that point of time, how dealers are with us, like they are supporting us
See,
or
it
we
does
face
not
some
change. It does
competition.
not change pre-peak or during peak. At
Okay.
any given point in time, the dealer could work with another company. There are certain
Mm-hmm.
dealers who only work with us, but the majority of dealers work with multiple companies. They also don't want to put all their eggs in one basket. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not a question of peak or non-peak. It is behavior that is consistent across the year.
Thank you, sir. So, Akriti would like to ask some questions.
Yes, sir. So there's certain questions still which we want to explore further. So
Yeah.
one of the questions is like, as you have talked about dealers and retailers, right? So if you want to rate overall satisfaction, like rate of dealers and retailers in your unit, what score will you like to give from 1 to 10 and why?
Oh, I don't know how to answer this. It's a little controversial if you ask me. I
But
think
it's a certain
dealers would
opinion.
be around 7 or 8, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe a max of 8, not
Okay,
more
got
than
it,
that,
sir.
I'm sure.
Okay, so as we were talking about partnership, right, which already exists and which is going very good, like, but still, what would be like 2 to 3 improvements from your side, like Paints could further integrate to strengthen the partnership between the dealers and the retailers.
See, if you ask this to the retailer, they will give you one answer, which everyone knows, but no one
Mm.
will do anything about it. It's called putting less pressure on them. Okay. Our teams, we as an organization work under pressure all the time, and we put a lot of our pressure on retailers that okay, there is
Yes, sir.
peak now, you need to build this target, you need to do the you should grow on your last year number, everything. If that reduces, I think maybe more people would work with us. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Honest answer, that is the reason. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe other points would be on slightly things, of course, like we have a stock of our product at all times. Certain products which are not that good in quality should improve. Okay.
Yeah.
Then a paint retailer, like we've sold adhesives to a paint retailer also. They don't like that. They would not want to deal in products which they know they cannot sell. So those aspects are there, but all of it eventually boils down to how much pressure we keep the retailer under and how much stress we give to that person.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, thank you
Got
so
it,
much, sir.
sir.
So this brings us to the last question.
I think she had one more question.
Do you
Yeah, I
have
just
one
have
more?
one more,
You can
yeah,
go
one
on.
more question I have.
Yeah.
Like, as these conversations going on, so one thing when we were talking about AI, right? Uh, how is the integration of AI within Asian Paints, not just for the dealer and retailers, even for the consumers? Like Birla Opus, when we comes to, you can try the paints on the walls, and then all the other integration, even Asian Paints is there. But how much appreciation it does give to the sales and overall condition? Like, is it a positive adoption for the consumers as well, or do it increase in sales, or is it just a additional support which is there and not much appreciation in the market is being given for it?
See, the retailers don't care for it, neither do the sales
Mhm.
teams. What happens is all these tools bring in more consumers for our services. The Beautiful Homes painting service that I was talking about. Through
Mhm.
these tools, we get more inquiries, which then we service through our painting services. So those tools are basically magnets to attract people into our funnel. and then we service
Mm.
those consumers. Having said that, neither Opus nor our visualizer is AI, by the way.
Okay.
It's not AI, it may appear AI, but it's not
Yes.
AI. And the average consumer does not care whether the visualizer is AI or not. They
Mm-hmm.
care that, okay, my house needs to be painted. How will the color look like?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You might ask your parents, for instance, if they paint their house, would they really care whether, okay, I will only use this product this because इनका visualizer तो AI है. नहीं,
I
वो
understand.
finally वो दिखना चाहिए कि हाँ ठीक लग रहा है.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will use the product. ठीक है.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of these things are hype and overstated. Okay.
Yeah.
If you ask about usage of AI, I use AI. We use a lot of Gen AI for creating content for our consumer businesses, for
Mm-hmm.
kitchens, for other decor categories. In that space, it has helped us. Like creating
Okay.
content would have taken much more time. It happens much faster. Although the quality is not up to the mark. A video created by a production house with a well trained script, proper lighting, set, everything stands out. That same video, when I create through VO3 or any other Gen AI
Mm-hmm.
tool, you can see the difference. We can see the difference.
Yes.
An average
Yes.
consumer may not see the difference, which is
Mm-hmm.
why we are persisting with it because it is faster. Although
Yes.
cost would not be that different.
Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
Thank you, sir. So the last question, in your unit, how can you share some instance on how, the relationship is just not about the numbers or how much you're doing. It's also about the personal interaction. The sales guy, how they interact with the retailers, they feel like homely or like some sort of a vibe. So do you know any sort of instance in your unit where it has helped you improve the sales of the
See, this is
category?
quite common. In fact, when we join and we go to these dealers, they first inquire about our education, then they seek guidance that okay, अच्छा आपने MBA किया है, कैसे करते हैं? I'm planning that for my grandson or my son or my daughter, granddaughter. Can you please talk to her? Can you just give her some? She's in class 8. Please talk to her. Give her some advice. She's confused about her future.
Mm,
This is quite normal. Then there are things that okay, I'm not that computer literate. Can you please explain how to use Excel to me, how to use a PPT, how to use these things? Can you also do that for my family?
mm,
Then older dealers, weddings in their family, they call you. You're like sort of a chief guest. All of that is quite common, and it's been, in fact, that has been one of the major things maybe which has helped us uh, remain in business for so long. It was far more before. It is
mm,
less now. See, in general, connecting on a human level was much higher before, and maybe with more growth and progress, we are losing that. Not only with retailers, but in general, human the way we are evolving. So it was much higher before,
mm,
and there were dealers who just stuck around because they were good friends with the area manager, they were good friends with the regional manager, even if they were earning less. Okay,
mm,
that, but that is now also now changing as the newer generation, their kids, their grandkids come into the picture. They are
mm,
very clear that all of that is fine. I want my margin, I want support. Okay. So while
mm.
these things are very important, over time, these things are reducing as well. And that alone is not sufficient to really hold on to people.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Great insight, sir. Just one more question I have from my
Yeah.
side. Recently we got to know one of the companies like Birla Opus itself, they are opening their channels to directly to consumers. Like rather than going through this whole chain of from dealers to contractors to dealers, they are like a consumer can directly choose their colors and can buy from the company so that it give a transparency to the prices itself. So what do you think, what your opinion
But
on this?
buying
And
from the company from there, from where on the
yeah,
website.
from the website itself, they can order it. They don't have to like get connected with the dealer contractor to buy it. So what
See,
do you
I'll tell
think
you
of this
here.
change?
Firstly, consumers do not want to buy paint directly from the company. One, because
Okay.
paint is not a product that they can apply on their own. So
Yes.
they will need a contractor. An average human being does not know a contractor. So they will have to walk
Mm-hmm.
up to the store. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That is one.
Mm-hmm.
For a few fraction of people who maybe know how to paint, they might buy. But
Mm-hmm.
this model that you said, while it is correct that you can buy from the website,
Mm-hmm.
but the thing is the material and the money gets accrued via the dealer. There's a model in between where finally the dealer only gets the value. So no
Okay.
one wants to antagonize the dealer because the dealer has a more reach, has a bigger reach, or rather
Mm-hmm.
a more decentralized reach. Like Asian Paint sitting here in Mumbai, Santa Cruz, will if a consumer from Goa reaches out, they will know, but they don't know any consumer. But a local retailer there in Goa will know.
Mm.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Yes.
transparency in prices is, of course, a factor. In fact, JSW operates a lot on that. But I don't think consumers care that much about it.
Okay. So,
So
See,
do you
consumers
like
have a very simple thing कि पेंट जो मैंने
mm-hmm.
विजुअलाइजर पे देखा वैसा ही मेरे दीवार पे लगना चाहिए, या मैंने जो
Yeah, true, sir.
शेड कार्ड में देखा अच्छा लगना
Mm-hmm.
चाहिए, पेंट
Mm.
Mm.
ज्यादा दिन टिकना चाहिए, इट
Mm.
शुड नॉट पील ऑफ,
Mm.
एंड द
Yes.
कलर शुड नॉट फेड.
Yes.
Absolute basic. Everything beyond this is just uh, faff.
Mm.
Got it, sir.
So do you like use any KPIs to prioritize your retailers? Because like there are tons of
Yeah,
retailers
yeah,
who
yeah. So
some are
there are
giving. Yeah.
so our dealers are, we have retailing tiers, and between in terms of servicing we don't distinguish.
Okay.
Everyone gets equal preference, but certain products are only built to certain tiers of retailers. Like say wallpapers, for instance, comes in only at the second at like the topmost level -1 is where you start to get wallpapers, and the topmost layer beautiful homes is where you get all decor,
Okay.
like your weather seal,
Mm. Mm.
sleek kitchen,
Yeah.
furniture, lighting, etc. That.
Yeah. So like जैसे we study in like MBA कि CAC है, CLV है, ऐसे कुछ metrics like do you use some metrics to like use the data to analyze the priority of the tiers or something like that? How
No,
do you
that does
decide the
not
tiers?
factor in into the retail business. That's important for a decor business because there it's more of a direct to consumer sort of a
Okay.
business and not via retailer. There we measure customer lifetime value because our thought is that we should sell to the same customer multiple times throughout their lifetime. Like once
Mm.
you did paints, then you did kitchen, then at some point you buy furniture, then you buy wallpaper, then you buy light, etc. That is more important for the decor side of the business, which is more direct to consumer as compared to the paints business, which is to retailer and retailer to consumer.
You said that region-wise there are different strategies. So, like, how the urban and the rural market is different? Like, what different strategies you follow, or what are the different challenges is there? Like, how you segregate these? Because
I will
somewhere,
tell you about my unit, what challenges I have faced here right
yeah,
now.
because
Because
somewhere I feel like the budget
Hmm,
constraint could
hmm,
come. So, yeah.
yeah. So in my unit, for example, I'm handling Aurangabad. Aurangabad is a city. Ahmednagar
Mm-hmm.
also is a city, but Bid also has a part of city. But again, the large part of it is upcountry area, which is a rural area, like you
Mm-hmm.
call it. The dealer behaviors in all locations are different. Like for example, if you talk to anybody in any dealer in the city, uh, he would take you for granted for a lot of times. But if you talk to a dealer in the upcountry region, the first day I went, I was felicitated with shawl, turban, tika, and all those things. And I'm like, why is this happening? But yeah, this is how they treat you. They expect you to be there, they expect you to stay with them. So the relationship should not be transactional. For example, I have certain agenda when I go to a dealer. It is not that I will sit there, I will talk, and I will just leave. They want a relationship to be built there. They want, if I leave early, they will be like, no, no, sir, jaldi chale gaye, nahi, aisa nahi hai, something is wrong. Okay. So then having food with them, these are all ancillary activities, but they do count. And in rural areas, especially, this phenomena is higher because for them all these things matter. But in
So,
city, if you go to see the dealer behavior, it is much different. They will
so
take you for
basically, the
granted a lot of
cultural
times.
value difference is there.
Cultural value
Like,
difference is very visible in urban
okay,
to rural areas, and
okay.
more because in urban areas,
Mm-hmm.
everybody's focusing on urban areas, so they do have a lot of options as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, but in rural areas, that is not the case. So what Asian Paints gets to them is a huge thing, huge deal. So that
Okay.
difference is there in terms of dealer behavior. In terms of availability of cash, I would say ki the dealers, we expect that in rural areas a lot of people will be short on money, but I have not observed that. Yes, definitely there are cases, but there are a lot of dealers which are very rich in terms of cash reserves. We do not face those issues because they have their agricultural income and other income. This depends on territory to territory. For example, Jalna, that I handle, is very popular for the steel industry there. So a lot of
Mhm.
people have background in that particular industry, so they do not have shortage of cash per se. If I go to say, so similarly, region to region, the dynamics differ. As a manager or as a salesperson in general, what matters is you identify what works in which place, and then play it accordingly.
So just to quantify, can you give us a number, approximate number, like how much in your unit sales is coming from rural areas or urban areas? So that, because we somewhere in our mind have that perception that rural people might be not able to afford Asian paints since it's expensive. But if we can have some numbers, maybe we will be in a better position to understand that what is the current
Mm,
market scenario of rural.
okay, just a minute.
Yeah.
I would say 50-50%. City area
Okay.
is very small. So
Mm-hmm.
50% actually is a huge number for it, because only in my entire 8 territories,
Mm-hmm.
uh, only 2 units are actually proper city units. Two and max three, I can say. Rest all are rural areas per se. So
Okay.
even if the sales contribution is 50-50,
Mm-hmm.
since the territories here are lesser, the contribution
Mm-hmm.
per territory is higher.
Okay. Got it.
Hmm.
Uh, so to end with, I would like to
Yeah.
understand like what is like dealer and retailer satisfaction in your unit? Like how would you give a score to it? Also,
Out of
We
a
yeah.
10,
actually have
like
these
on a
surveys
scale.
very often. Recently itself,
Mhm.
survey was done. So in that, the dealer satisfaction on a scale of 10, it was 7.5. So this is a quantified number that you have.
Good.
Mhm.
This was
That's a
just
very,
what
very
happened
good number
recently.
because, yeah, it's a,
Also,
Yeah.
since you have mentioned like a lot of loyalty programs, transparency, you are working on being fair to big dealers and as well
No, we
as
are not
the
working on being fair. We are fair.
yeah, you are fair. So, like still sometimes still you have mentioned that competition is rising. So, from your point of view, would what would be like an ideal dealer partnership model if it if it does not exist yet? What would you want that if this two or three things are improved, then this would be like an ideal partnership model and no competition from outside can break this. Like, of course, we have brand loyalty, we have trust, we have better products, good dealer distribution network, but still anything you feel like that this would make it more ideal and impactful.
Hmm. That is a very loaded question. Even I have not thought about it actually in that sense. What can we do additionally for an ideal dealer partnership? No, I think I have covered pretty much entire thing about it in different parts, bits and parts. Apart
Mhm.
from the brand loyalty and the trust factor, that see, your entire day-to-day working reflects a lot of things. The fairness
Mhm.
part itself that I talked about,
Mhm.
it is very important. Like I told you a case itself where just to please someone, I cannot be impartial, because then it would just disturb the balance altogether. So I have to be fair even if it is not in my favor. So all those things do matter. Brand matters, service matters, the relationships you build matter. All of this. In terms of ideal partnership, when you talk about it, I cannot eliminate competition. That is at the
Yeah,
end
of
of the
course.
day what is true. I cannot force you to keep something, or I cannot force you to uh, force you कि बाबा ये मत करो या वो मत करो. Uh, my uncle itself had a grocery shop, so he used to have everything right. He was actually selling predominantly vegetable related things. Then he moved into snacks. Then up to the point now he had cigarettes, and also I used to be like, Why are you keeping this? Then milk and everything on the face of earth he was having. So I was asking him कि ये क्यों कर रहे हो? मतलब why are you selling all these things? So his point was that whenever a customer comes to my door, he should not go empty-handed, because the moment
Empty-handed,
he
exactly.
goes empty-handed, he gets an opportunity to explore the other store,
Other
and
side.
maybe if something entices him there, he will get hooked to that particular thing.
Mhm.
So I need to have everything. So that is also in a way the psyche of the dealer. He knows that he is making a lot of money in Asian Paints. He knows that we are delivering that value to him, but he is keeping a lot of other alternatives as well, just because if somebody comes and asks for it, he should not be the person to say कि नहीं मेरे पास नहीं है. So he keeps all those things. So what as a company I need to ensure is that in terms of the servicing that I give him, I am at the top. In terms of the benefits that I give him, I am at the top. Then the rest, and in terms of the relationship that I'm building, that I'm having with him, I am having, the territory sales executive is having, that is at the top. So if I ensure all of these things are in place, these are hygiene factors at the end of the day. If these hygiene factors are intact, definitely you cannot force anybody to not sell competition. They will have it, but 120% majority, 70-75% business would be with us because of all these things.
Understood. Thank you so much,
Mm.
Shubham, for all the detailed insights. And I would like to apologize on behalf of the team for all the time clashes and the multiple times we have asked you to reschedule, but you were kind enough to give us a 1 hour. So
Don't worry.
any
I actually more yesterday also to the first year students I told the same thing. I'm more closer to you guys than I am to the management here, because I am also a recent pass out, so don't stress about it. No issues. I just tried to tell you what all I have learned. It might not be complete, or it might not have some gaps, but yeah, I tried to just tell you what all I have learned in my brief span here. But if any questions you have, you
That
can
was
let me know.
very
No issues.
structured.
I will
That
get. Ah, yes, yes,
uh,
Samarth, tell.
Shubham,
sorry, sir.
any
Sorry to cut you off. That was very structured, and that really gave us a lot of insight into how you manage the channels, be it the distributors or the retailers. Thank you so much for your time. It's
Mm,
almost 1 hour.
mm,
On a tired evening, you'd also be tired. Uh,
mm.
okay, thank you so much,
Not
sir.
everything that is taught in B school is waste, by the way. We use bunch of things we use.
Yeah.
So study well.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. I think it was a
Yeah,
fabulous interaction. This was a very honest take from your side. Like we
sure.
expected that you would be diplomatic, but you're very honest at some points, and we really appreciate that. And thank you so much for your time on a Saturday. I understand that it would be really hectic
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
throughout the week. Looking forward, sir.